going to show you how you can use Autotune with Logic Pro X using the stock plugins available inside Logic. So whether you just want a bit of help with your vocals with some pitch correction, or you want to sound like T-Pain or Kanye West, there's no shame in that. I'm going to show you how you can do this right now with Logic Pro X. So here I have a session in Logic and I have a lead vocal right here, and this is what it sounds like without any Autotune or pitch correction.
We win, we lose, we cry, we move on. The night is dark, is right before dawn.
So you might have a vocal like that, or you might be rapping or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You have a vocal, you can treat it, you can EQ it and put some compression on it, whatever, reverb. But what we're gonna do now is put some Auto-Tune and pitch correction just to help it get to a bit of a more professional level. And how we're gonna do that is, we're gonna highlight the track and go over to plugins, and we'll add a new plugin going to pitch and pitch correction, choosing mono. So this is gonna bring up the stock Auto-Tune plugin for Logic, and how you use it is you need to tell Logic what key this song is in. If you don't know how to find what the key is to your song, that's okay. You can do it through a couple different things. You could bring up the tuner here and just sing into the tuner of the main chord used in your song. That likely is could be the key of your song. Or you can go to a website called audiokeychain.com and you can upload a file to their site and it will tell you the key to your song. In my case, the key is an A sharp minor. It's a natural minor scale, and most of the time you're going to be either in a natural minor or a major scale. You don't really have to fuss with any of these other scales. So mine's natural minor and A sharp. And then don't worry too much about the normal, the low knobs. These are the pitch corrections that you'll see happen in action. And then you just want to lower the response. So if you go all the way to the bottom, you're gonna sound like T-Pain. And then if you don't want to sound too auto-tuning, you just raise that up while it's playing to find that perfect ground that you want to sound like. I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna bring this down here and I'll go to the beginning of my track, and I'll leave it off for now and play the first little bit without any pitch correction.
We win, we lose, we cry, we move on.
You can turn the pitch correction on here and move it all the way to the
The
bottom.
night is dark, is right before dawn.
So especially in this part, you can really notice it all when I put it all the way to the bottom.
We win, we lose, we cry, we move on.
So it sounds very much like Auto-Tune, and sometimes that might be an effect you're working with, and that's how you would make it. And if you don't want to sound like that, just play back, and usually around like 65 to 80 milliseconds is kind of that response time if you're singing in pop but you don't want to sound like Auto-Tune but you want to be pitch perfect. That's a good response time. So around 67, you won't really notice it as much, but it will sound pitch perfect.
We win, we lose, we cry, we move on.
So
The night is dark, is right before dawn.
it's really hard to hear any sort of pitch correction unless you have a really good ear. So that's probably a good response time that I would personally go with. It's a pretty good plugin, the standard stock plugin that comes with Logic, but you can also find other Auto-Tune paid plugins that you can import into Logic and use those that will have a better Auto-Tune sound if you're really going for that kind of thing. If you're curious to any of what my studio vocals sound like, check me out on Spotify. All my music is there, or here on YouTube. Subscribe, stick around, and hope to see you in the next video.